Hey, how's it going, fish tankers? Mr. Mom Tanks coming at you Saturday afternoon, Christmas Eve. Just kicking it here with the family, kicking it with the kid. She's fired up for Christmas, of course. Watching the Bronco game. I mean, they're getting beat 40-14 right now, so it's not looking real good for the Broncos on Christmas Eve. But anyway, the tank looks good. And I want to make a quick video here. I haven't made one of this tank in a while. But I wanted to talk about algae eating fish in a planted tank. Something we're all familiar with. I mean, basically, you know, we all know we get a lot of weird algae in a tank, especially a planted tank, because you got the higher lights and, you know, you're running CO2 and blah, blah, blah. So you're going to get some weird algae. I like to keep a couple different species of algae eater in my tanks, mainly just because, like, for instance, this pleco right here, he's a long fin, bushy nose pleco. He spends a big majority of his time chilling on this log. So he does a real good job on the log. You know, I don't see a lot of algae on it. And the rest of the time he spends on the glass a little bit. He does some work on the glass, getting some green algae off and stuff, but that's about it. He doesn't get in the plants. He's not eating any hair algae off the plants or nothing. So let's see if I can, oh, there they are. These guys right here, I call them Siamese algae eaters. The fish store that I got them from calls them flying foxes, but whatever you call them, I mean, these guys, they spend most of their time on the plants. So as you can see right here, I'll give you a little action. He's picking hair algae off that plant right now, and that plant's loaded with it. So they're going to get gigantic eating in this tank because I got a little hair algae bloom going on. But I think that's, I don't know if that's from too much CO2 or not enough CO2, or from, you know, not having a good CO2 balance, going up and down. But either way, they're eating it. They seem to like it. So yeah, I mean, I've got the two species in here. I'm thinking about throwing some autocinkless cats in here too, because they do a good job on some of the harder algae, believe it or not, in my experience anyway. So I do have some autocinkless in my other tank. It's a little smaller, but they kick butt in that tank. So yeah, anyway, these guys, flying foxes, Siamese algae eaters. Some people call them Siamensis algae eaters. I'm not sure what the scientific name is, but they love to eat algae off plants. They do a really good job doing that. So yeah, get those, man. If you're looking for something to eat some algae off your plants and in your planted tank, you know, try some Siamese algae eaters. Those things do a good job. I mean, they'll get on the glass and stuff too, but not as much as what the pleco does. But the pleco's cool. He's just real dumb looking and ugly, so I like that. Awesome fish, and does a good job on the log. So got some good Rotala indica growing right here. I'm going to go ahead and trim this out, plant it behind this log and stuff, and fill this in. The Anacris naja is going nuts. I mean, that strand right there is probably like 3.5 foot long. This strand right there is like 3.5 foot long, man. So I got to trim it and do some stuff with that, but it's hard to do. And CO2, just to show you guys who care, running through the stairwell there. Got tons of bubbles, as you can see. Got about a bubble a second coming out the tube. Coming up out of the stairwell, and about half the bubbles are being sucked into this submersible power head that I have, and being blown out. I actually have a crack in the stairwell. That's why you see that constant bubble right there. Some of it's escaping instead of going through the well, but you can see a lot of it still going through the stairs. So got tons of bubbles in there. But anyway, yeah, that's working good. Bubbles are getting sucked up into the filter. See, you just saw a little bit get dispersed out right there. There's a little bit more. Believe me, guys, I sit here all day and watch my stupid CO2 run. I mean, that's the highlight of my day for most days, believe me. I literally can't look at the dispersal on that. So I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but it seems better than nothing. So that's what I'm doing for now. But, you know, the pennywort's going nuts now, and everything's really starting to go crazy. Got a lot of new growth on this Ludwigia. So stuff's looking good. Liking the CO2. The fish are happy. I'm happy. Can't ask for much more. The algae eaters got plenty of food to eat. Yeah, so don't freak out when you get a lot of algae in your tank. You know, well, if you get a lot of algae, and you can get some really bad algae, but we won't go into all that. But yeah, try different kind of, you know, if you just have one kind of algae eater, that's probably not enough. You're probably going to want a variety of algae eaters. So yeah, holler out, baby. Mr. Mom Tanks, giving a shout out to Fish Tank TV. All my subscribers, appreciate anyone who watches a video. I love comments, even negative ones. People who hate the tank, shout out, you know. I don't mind the haters. So, yeah. Merry Christmas to everybody. Mr. Mom Tanks, out.